right, everybody stand by, make certain all this is working properly. Sounds like we've got everything where it needs to be so far. It is a quiet Monday night in downtown. Thankful to report that. Not seeing anything in the way of major problems coming our direction anytime soon. Going to be on the hot side, that's true, but we also do not see too much of anything else happening in the way of major problems. This is Weather Overtime. If you've never been here before, welcome to the show. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Sorry I'm not paying attention directly here, but trying to make certain that everything is working. As we go into the next several days, not much is going to be changing anytime soon. So persistence forecasts at its finest. No problems at all looking again into the next several days. We're not seeing anything in the way of really hot conditions, so that's good. But we're also not seeing anything in the way of very cool weather coming our direction either. So while that would be nice, doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, welcome to the show. If you've got a question about what's going on here with Weather Overtime, again, this is our online video weather blog, Monday evening, the 12th of August. Keeping you updated with what's happening. If you live around this area, feel free to chime in. Again, this is from News 12. We're in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, just off the northeastern flank of Lookout Mountain. And if you got a question about the weather, drop it into the stream chat for Twitch or into YouTube. Drop it into the chat function. Would love to hear what it is that you are where you're from, what you're looking for the way of weather in your location. I'm going to be kind of shuffling pages a little bit more. Unfortunately, because of this monitor that you're looking at right here, I can't show it to you by twisting it around because I'm afraid to almost touch this thing because unfortunately the monitor has developed kind of a fault, so about a quarter of the entire page is just totally blacked out. So we're having to treat this thing with a lot of kid gloves, and I can barely see anything on the left-hand side of the screen. So while it would be nice, we're going to have to kind of do some extra shuffling here until we get everything changed around, until our engineering staff can get that fixed at some point in time. But let's go ahead and not worry about that and go ahead and jump into everything. We are still very much on the dry side. We are now over 6 inches behind on rainfall. That's half a foot behind for the year. We've only picked up 0.08 for the month. We should have another 1.45 inches in the gauge at this time just to break even for August. Not happening this time. Here's the good news. Below normal on the low and the high temperature. High temperature today, 2 degrees below the normal high, thanks to that clouds and the smoke out there from earlier. So we didn't get quite going too much on the way of heat conditions. The other good news, we were well away from the record high temperature, which hasn't been broken since 1881. That is a big amount of time that we have not actually topped that temperature, which is just fine with me. We don't have to do anything about that anytime soon, so not going to see too much of any problems with that, hopefully, anytime out there. Let's go ahead and take a cooler look way out west. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer Terry Johnson from Rossville, Georgia. A beautiful view from Olympic National Park west of Seattle. That's our Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. If you've got pictures, go ahead and send them in to us at pictures@wdef.com. You can drop them to our social media pages, or you can let us know by going to our website, wdef.com/photos. Taking a look around the area downtown, kind of hazy once again because we see that wildfire smoke across much of the area, and we'll continue to see that throughout the next several days as we get more wildfire smoke to pour on through. Does not look to be a problem with our air quality. Air quality is reduced a little bit, as you can see here, but otherwise not bad. 78 degrees at the airport. Winds are calm. They were up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour earlier. And as of right now from downtown, you can see some of the lights on Signal Mountain a little bit better than you could a few days ago with all that smoke in the atmosphere. That's the Patriot Concrete camera. You can see those you can see the towers very nice on Signal Mountain, way off in the distance, thanks in part again to that clearer air and also a little drier The temperature of 78, the dew point temperature of 63, much lower than what it has been. So that gives us more comfortable conditions. Tomahawk crane and rigging camera showing lots of traffic, but everything moving along well at the 2475 interchange in south central Chattanooga from CHI Memorial Stadium. Not too many folks out and about on the footbridge or in Coolidge Park or on the Tennessee River this evening. A few folks out and about, but otherwise a very mild evening there. And last but not least, let's take a look at what's going on at the Chattanooga Zoo webcam. Erlinger Hospital looking off to the northwest, not totally bright out across much of the region because of the fact that we've had some of that drier dust across portions of the region. That dust and that smoke is going to be keeping up with us throughout the course of the next several days. The red dots that you see on screen are wildfires that are being reported. There's not that many of them, but there is, again, some of them. So some of the smoke we're picking up out there is local, but a lot of it is going to be sticking around for the next day or so. Again, here's what it looks like for now. Putting this into motion, we're going to see a gradual reduction as we go into around Tuesday late morning, but some of that smoke will stick around and then resurge back across portions of the area into the course of the next few days. So not surprising that that will be sticking around for a while. We also have high pressure back to the north of us, which is doing a very good job of keeping things very high and dry here. But what we're looking at is, again, I've got to wait for all the data to catch up here. What we're seeing is an area of low pressure and a stationary front well on down to our south. Back to the north of us, we've got a double area of high pressure, and that is doing a very good job. Air around high pressure rotates clockwise in the northern hemisphere. So from here and here, a lot of this air that we're getting is coming from south central Canada around the periphery of this area of high pressure and down into our area of the country. So this is basically acting like a giant conveyor belt, bringing in more of that smoke. It's not as much as it was last week, but it is still happening. New storm system developing back to the west of us will be giving us a bit more warm air coming on through. And this one will be not in our area anytime soon. So low temperatures Tuesday morning, mid-60s, maybe some lower 60s out there. That'll feel pretty nice. For tomorrow, we're going to push about 90 degrees once again as that warm front begins to turn to a warm front from a stationary front pushing back to the north. And then as that front starts to arrive, temperatures will start to get a little bit hotter as we go toward the peak of the week. As we go toward Thursday morning, not that much happening yet, but then for Thursday afternoon, maybe some stray showers popping up. And then as we go toward about Thursday into Friday morning, could be some scattered showers and thunderstorms possible here. And then we see the main part of that storm system get closer to us, bringing that hotter air up our direction. And that means that we've got temperatures on the rise for the most part. But in the next several days, we probably are not going to see like temperatures shooting back upwards again, giving us hotter conditions, as in record-breaking. That doesn't appear to be happening. But it does look like things are going to be rather on the toasty side for the foreseeable future. So not really looking at great news where that is concerned. Let me see if I can get the extended forecast up here where it comes to the heat. We do see, again, here we go, the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center is showing the possibility, better potential of lower than average temperatures from roughly about the Tennessee-Kentucky line all the way back up to around portions of the Great Lakes, Canada, and that area. Hotter conditions exist down to our south and east, and some of that starts to move up our direction. So we are seeing a little bit above normal conditions here as we go into the next few days. And then temperatures looks like they will be settling rather on the hot side into the next several days. So what are we talking about when it comes to anything involving hot weather? Island Cove Marina and Resort Camera on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam Network. If you'd like to check out our cameras, please stop by our website, WDEF.com, and you can see what's on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam Network there. Over the next few days, I think for right now, we're going to be seeing temperatures relatively stable, little if anything changing. 91 is about our regular high temperature. normal for this time of the year. And we're going to be on either side of that for the next several days. Little, if anything, is going to be changing. We may see again, as that warm front approaches, temperatures rising into the lower to almost the mid-90s. Doesn't look like a huge increase, and then we'll see an isolated chance of a shower or thunderstorm Thursday into Friday and Saturday. That'll be our best chances of picking up some showers or thunderstorms. And then we look for the potential of that diminishing toward next Sunday, and then basically out of the way for next Monday. So I would not get too far away from the sunblock. I would also make certain you take your extra canister of water. Always nice to have that extra one out there to take along just in case, to make certain you stay hydrated. And the humidity also will be coming back over the next several days as well, as we see the humidity levels start to step back upwards once again. It doesn't look like we're going to be going snap into it, but it does look like we'll be getting some warmer conditions out there as we go throughout the course of the next several days. So be prepared for that, and toward the end of the week, maybe kind of sort of some showers and thunderstorms, but really just not looking at a lot of activity out there. All right, let's head to the tropics and take a look around and see what's going on here. We had, over the weekend, a disturbance which turned into potential tropical cyclone number 5. That, in turn, this afternoon, just about 4 or 5 hours ago, turned into tropical storm Ernesto. That, again, making its way toward the Leeward Islands. And that is going to be, again, the possibility of some more problems with that in the next couple of days. As of, let me just make certain that this is, okay, as of 8 o'clock this evening, center of tropical storm Ernesto was located near 16 degrees north, 58.5 degrees west, moving west-northwest. This storm is booking along west at 28 miles per hour. This thing is being driven by atmospheric winds very, very quickly. On the forecast track, we'll get to that coming up here in just a little bit. Maximum sustained winds around 40 miles per hour. That is bare minimum for a tropical storm. 39 miles per hour is where they start classifying from a tropical depression to a tropical storm, going upwards in intensity. But as of right now, that's as strong as this particular storm gets. Now, where is this storm going? That, of course, is the big question of the day. Well, according to the spaghetti models, as they are so called, and you'll see why coming up here in a minute if you've never seen this before, this is a number of model runs, varying amounts of changes in between the different models. You're going to see a lot of different lines come out of this as we go forward in time. So as we go into about, let's say, Tuesday afternoon, it looks to be still a tropical storm. And then as we get into around right about Thursday evening, Thursday morning, still a tropical storm. Right north of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, and then right about 6 p.m. Thursday, this is forecast to become a Category 1 storm. Notice all the lines here. When you have the majority of them lined up, the models are in very good agreement as to what may be happening. Now, a couple of the storms with the parameters set to take it more on a linear course off to the west. That one goes over kind of basically where Beryl was a couple of weeks ago. But this one, in the next couple of days, as it heads for right about Puerto Rico, starts to sweep northward. Takes a hard right turn and then heads its way, basically, that little dot right up there, right in that cone area, that is Bermuda. So this looks to be taking the possibility of a direct hit by Sunday morning to Bermuda. Category 2 storm as it makes landfall, possibly right around Bermuda, somewhere in there. But it looks like this system is really taking a different course, moving its way, taking that right-hand turn right north of Hispaniola, to where we will see the potential of some wind damage, heavy rainfall, stuff like that. But so far, if it doesn't follow this fairly linear course, and most of the models are saying it's going that direction toward the north and over cooler waters, where it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But that right there, we already have our E-named storm. So now we are 5 storms in to the season. We are now into the season by almost 2.5 months. So we're doing pretty good on that, and we are still ramping up toward the middle point of the season, which is September 10th. So we're about a month away from the midpoint of the season. That's where we really start picking up a lot more activity here, here, and here. And that is why we're going to have to watch, again, very, very carefully, because of the fact, and again, if you haven't seen this, I want to make certain everybody is paying attention to this, because the temperatures out there, and please tell me I did not get rid of it. Yeah, it looks like maybe I did. Okay, unfortunately, we have the temperatures of the waters out there. That is where we are really starting to see some problems, because of the fact that we have a lot of the temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico and over portions of the Atlantic above 80 degrees. And we also see, again, the potential for a lot of these systems to be giving us some problems, because they're going to move over this area and are going to be continuing to move over this very, very warm water. Some of the temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico were registering above 90 degrees. And that is way past rocket fuel. That is a big ignition source to where these storms can really grow very quickly. So as this approaches going back to the west-northwest, the waters continue to get warm, and we could see, again, more problems with this rapidly, again, over the next couple of days. By Thursday, this is expected to become a hurricane, so we may see some more problems out of this very, very soon. Whether or not this actually makes its way to the mainland, a little bit difficult to say for right now, but it does mean that we do need to pay very close attention to this. If you're going on a cruise, if you're heading to the beach, Gulf Coast, East Coast, Florida coast, the Keys, the Bahamas, down toward Mexico, Central America, now is the time you really have to watch these systems, because if they start heading in your general direction, you need to get out of the way very, very quickly. You need to make certain that you are playing it safe and obeying the rules, and make certain you're not putting yourself in danger. And if you haven't heard, again, the updated information from NOAA is showing way above average for accumulated energy in the tropics. That right there alone, that reading shows that's what the storms have to draw on where it comes to anything involving more amounts of energy that is just sitting there, stored up potential energy in the top layer of the ocean that these storms can take advantage of. And that in turn will cause more powerful and more unpredictable weather as we go into the next several days. And that is due mostly to fossil-fueled human-use climate change. So that is something that, again, we really need to pay attention to on that. So keep it tuned to News 12, and we'll keep you updated about that. All right, a couple of extracurricular activities before we go too far. Coming up in just over a month, the National Weather Service that helps cover the News 12 viewing area in Morristown, Tennessee, will be offering an open house. If you wanted to know what NOAA does, and a lot of people have been very critical of NOAA lately because they talk too much about climate change. Well, NOAA does more than study climate change. They also study how fisheries work. They study debris along the coastline. They also take a look at how to make more accurate shipping forecasts so our commerce can go back and forth across the oceans or through the skies. They also keep you safe by monitoring severe weather through the National Weather Service, through the Storm Prediction Center, through the National Hurricane Center. All that type of stuff is under the NOAA umbrella, which is under the United States Department of Commerce. Very short-sighted of a lot of people to be able to sit there and say, oh, well, in order to get people to stop talking about climate change, we just need to remove NOAA as a government agency and replace it with a privatized firm that will never ever talk about climate change again. Well, that's not going to make the problem of climate change go away. It is a problem, it is happening, and humans are causing it. So if you'd like to know more about what NOAA does, instead of just cutting off NOAA for no other good reason than the fact that they talk about climate change, or talk about climate change too much in some people's opinions, this is a good way to ask what goes on. Find out more. Visit the National Weather Service. Ask them what they do. You can watch a balloon launch. You can tour their offices. You can speak with the other local agencies and core partners of the National Weather Service to find out how much they depend on National Weather Service information. You can meet the meteorologist, the specialist, the warning coordination meteorologist, meteorologists, the hydrologists, the people who are in charge of keeping you safe and getting a ton of data from here to various government agencies that can keep you safer and find out more about why our climate is changing, how we can make certain more people stay safe and alive during severe weather. This is a great opportunity, and these open houses do not happen that often. So if you'd like to know more, head to their website, weather.gov/MRX, or you can go to our website just below the forecast, wdef.com/weather, if you'd like to know more about what we are looking at when it comes to the forecast. So again, this is a great opportunity. Please take advantage of it. If you'd like to know more about what NOAA does, instead of just parroting some individual or political organization's line that it's bad because it mentions climate change, go find out for yourself. Go find out what NOAA does for you, what your tax dollars and my tax dollars help pay for. Great opportunity that doesn't come along that often. So please do your best to go over and take a look and see what is happening there. All right, our web poll of the day, courtesy of friendinroofing.com. The poll taken from the data from the Pew Research Center in 2023, where they asked over 10,900 Americans, what percent of Americans interviewed or polled say we should never stop using fossil fuels? 15%, 25%, 35% of the population, or over half of the population? Well, as of about right before news time, it was all equal across the board. 60% of you said 55% of the American public say we should never stop using fossil fuels. In actuality, that was 35%. So basically one out of three Americans saying we should never stop using fossil fuels, which means there's a lot more that are either on the fence. Why they are, I have no idea, but then there are also a lot of people who say, yes, we should stop using fossil fuels. Interesting poll. If you'd like the link and the information about this to the Pew Research Group, all you have to do is visit my social media pages. You can find out more there. Another poll goes up at midnight at wdef.com/vote now if you'd like to vote in the polls and see what's going on. So please, again, find out more about what is happening at our website at wdef.com/weather. And also, again, new poll later on tonight, so use the QR code on your screen if you'd like to vote on that. And thanks to friendinroofing.com for being our poll sponsor, and thanks to all of our sponsors out there. We talked about our weather picture a few minutes ago. If you think you've got some excellent pictures that would be world-class, the World Meteorological Organization is holding their calendar competition. It's an annual event where you get to submit your weather pictures. These are some of the weather pictures from some of our viewers here at News 12. Just as an example, if you would like to enter your picture into the contest, then all you have to do is go to wmo.int. And you can make your selection. There are a lot of rules. You can only submit certain formats. They have to be a certain size, a certain pixel number, things like that. But if you'd like to do this, you don't have long. You've got about 19 days, give or take, to get your entry in. So please, if you've got something you think is excellent, give it a chance. You won't win any money, but to have your picture published in a calendar that is seen all over the world, that's a pretty good feather in your cap. So something to think about there if you'd like to give that a try at some point in time. So please check that out and see, again, what you can do as part of the World Meteorological Organization's photography contest for 2025. Great opportunity to see more there. Think that should do it, and we've been on for just about half an hour, so not bad for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and call it quits for this evening, and to give you an idea as to what's going on with your forecast, I'll have more coming up on News 12 at 11. You can watch our newscast online at wdef.com. You can catch our forecast on News 12 by going to wdef.com/weather if you'd like to learn more about what's going on around here. If you've got any questions or want to know more from me or about what the weather is doing around here, email address at the bottom of the screen, aonek@wdef.com. Would love to hear from you. If we can't answer your question immediately, we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. But again, If you've got a question, we'd love to hear from you and hear what it is that you'd like to say. If there's something on this blog that you didn't see that you would like to see, let us know. We can't do this without you. So give us an idea as to what you're looking at, and we'd be glad to make certain that we are able to keep you coming back for more information on Weather Overtime. We enjoy being able to spend time with you here, and if you have any questions, again, please let us know. It's a great opportunity for you to check up and see what's going on. For those of you who are watching from outside the News 12 viewing area, again, Chattanooga, Tennessee, if you're from far outside that area, thanks for checking in for tonight. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, let us know that you like what you see, and we'd be glad, again, to consider other additions here if you'd like to let us know more about what you might be looking on here for. All right, Chip Chapman has got your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. A lot of kids going back to school, so please make certain you're paying attention to what's going on out there in the highways and byways, and especially in those residential areas where some of those kids come out from between those parked cars. Let's be paying attention. Let's be careful out there. I'll have more on your forecast coming up tomorrow evening on Weather Overtime for Tuesday, so we'll go ahead and send you back to your regular Tuesday evening schedule. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Monday, the 12th of August, and we'll see you here again coming up later on News at 11 and also on Weather Overtime for Tuesday. Thanks a lot again for stopping by.